afternoon. Pakistan has declared, quote, open war with the Taliban. Islamabad launched large-scale airstrikes against militants in Kabul and other parts of Afghanistan in retaliation for what it called an unprovoked attack. CNA's Yasmin Yonkers has more.
Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has vowed to defend its territorial integrity with a strong and decisive response. Islamabad says it killed at least 143 Taliban members, while Kabul has put its death toll at 8. And Pakistan also says it destroyed a Taliban battalion headquarters, weapon ammunition depot, and multiple clinics. Video released by the Taliban showed what appears to be explosions after fired at Pakistan's side of the border near Afghanistan. They said it killed at least 55 Pakistani soldiers. Islamabad says only 2 have died. Kabul said its attack was in response to Pakistani airstrikes over the weekend, which the UN says killed at least 13 civilians. And Islamabad has defended its decision to launch airstrikes over the weekend, saying the assault killed at least 70 terrorists. It said that the targeted camp belonging to the Pakistani Taliban, also known as the TTP, that's a militant group associated with Islamic State. Islamabad cited, quote, irrefutable evidence that militants were behind at least 7 planned or successful attacks on Pakistani soil. The TTP took responsibility for attacks last week that killed 11 security personnel and 2 civilians in Pakistan's Bazoor district. And the UN has called for urgent political dialogue amid fears new escalation in the conflict could fracture a fragile ceasefire. Afghan and Pakistani forces last clashed in October last year, and that's been the worst wave of fighting since the Taliban took over Kabul in 2021.
Amin Saikal is adjunct senior fellow at NTU's S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies, and he explains what's driving this escalation and whether mediation efforts can prevent a wider conflict.
The two sides have been at loggerheads now for nearly 3 years, and they have exchanged profiles across the border between them. Pakistan has alleged the Afghanistan Taliban for supporting the Pakistani Taliban, or the Tehreek Taliban of Pakistan, for a number of explosions inside Pakistan which have taken many lives. And Afghan Taliban have really denied that. But all the evidence tell us that Afghanistan Taliban have supported the Pakistani Taliban, and they have allowed them to take residence inside Afghanistan, but they are also supported at the same time by Al-Qaeda, which again has swelled its numbers inside Afghanistan under the patronage of the Afghan Taliban. So I think unless the Afghan Taliban really gives up their support for the Pakistani Taliban, this conflict is likely to continue and could also escalate. Pakistan in the past bombed, for example, some of the sites in Kabul, the capital of Afghanistan, and so as a result, I think now there is a danger of the widening of this conflict.
A Thai soldier has lost his leg in a landmine blast on the contested border with Cambodia. The Thai army says the soldier was critically wounded when he stepped onto the landmine early this morning in the border province of Surin. It says a preliminary examination indicates the landmine was buried deep in clay and covered with leaves, suggesting it was not newly laid. Thailand and Cambodia have repeatedly accused each other of violating successive truces with cross-border gun and mortar fire, while Bangkok has alleged Cambodian soldiers have laid fresh landmines on contested soil. Under a December truce, Cambodia and Thailand pledged to cease fire, freeze troop movements, and cooperate on demining efforts along the frontier. The navies of the Philippines, the United States, and Japan are holding joint drills in the South China Sea this week. The Philippine Armed Forces say the exercises serve to ramp up cooperation among the military allies. Exercises included replenishment at sea, joint air patrols, flybys, and communications check exercises. The Philippines held similar drills with Australia and the US last week. Manila has worked with several countries since 2023 to to assert its rights and maritime entitlements in the disputed South China Sea. China claims most of the resource-rich waterway and rejects the landmark international ruling in 2016 that dismissed its historical claims. The police are investigating a case of unnatural death after two elderly people were found dead in an HDB flat in Hongbo. Police say they were alerted to the case at Block 408B North Shore Drive at about 6:25 a.m. today. They found the 71-year-old man and a 66-year-old woman lying motionless in the residential unit. The pair were pronounced dead at the scene. Police say preliminary investigations show that they were known to each other. And that's the news. Headlines anytime on CNA 938 and CNA.Asia. And with the time at 1:37, let's head off now to some business news. Annual core inflation in Tokyo has slowed below the Bank of Japan's 2% target. This is for the first time in 16 months. And data shows Tokyo's core consumer price index, which excludes fresh food prices, rose 1.8% in the year to February, and that's after a 2% gain in January. The slowdown reflects the effect of fuel subsidies and the end of gasoline tax surcharges, while a wave of earlier food price hikes has also run its course. Meanwhile, an index excluding the effect of fresh food and fuel rose 2.5% on year, up from 2.4% in January. The BOJ considers this a better gauge of trend inflation. It raised interest rates to a 30-year high of 0.75% in December and has signaled readiness for future hikes and further hikes if its economic and price forecasts materialize. Oil prices have edged lower after the United States and Iran extended nuclear talks, easing supply concerns. Both Brent crude and West Texas Intermediate crude are headed for weekly declines, reversing the previous week's gain. During the U.S.-Iran indirect talks in Geneva yesterday, prices briefly jumped more than $1 on reports of stalled negotiations over uranium demand. However, they eased after Oman said both sides made progress, with technical discussions set to take place in Vienna next week. Meanwhile, OPEC Plus may raise output by 137,000 barrels per day in a meeting on Sunday. Asian markets are fluctuating.